I loved Turner Classic Movies. And recently I was inspired to mull over all the classic films that I grew up on and that I love watching today and really think about these films. And then my brain did like some kind of weird like segregation thing where it got me to thinking about classic black films. Now, classic black films, there weren't in abundance back then, not really in abundance, but that doesn't mean that black actors were not a very significant and integral part in the genesis of American cinema and Hollywood. And so I wanted to talk to you today about films that we think we can easily point out as black films. I mean, you have Stormy Weather, you have Carmen Jones, you have A Raisin in the Sun, you have A Learning Tree, and so we think that it's easy to point to films and to classify certain films as black classic films. But I also think that the black community also claim films that may not be black films, or we shouldn't consider black films. So let's talk about it. Hi, you guys, thank you for joining the Melanin Monarchy YouTube channel. And today we're going to be talking about black classic films that black people have been claiming that really should be disqualified from that list, that we should not be claiming as black films. Now, recently I went to a talk to see Ben Mankiewicz of Turner Classic Movies. And it was important for me to go hear him speak because I wanted to see if he had a strategy for, or the network had a strategy for curating classic films. Now, this is important to me, not only as a filmmaker, but also as a film lover, that classic films are continually to go forward, that we protect these films. But while I was listening to him and then afterwards, I realized that we can't put that responsibility just on one person or on one network, that it's our responsibility as artists to make sure that classic films continue on for the next generations to come. And so I'm pretty sure one of these days I'm going to do a video on all the classic films that I love. I have a ton of actors and filmmakers from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that I absolutely love and I enjoy. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a video one of these days. But before I do that, I wanted to take some time with you guys to take a look at films that black people can claim as black films, but really are not black films. Okay, I just don't believe that they're black films and that we can really claim these particular films. Now, I'm going to start off with my list of things that we should no longer claim, no matter who we are, claim that these are black films. And the first thing on my list are Shirley Temple movies. Any Shirley Temple movies. Now, I grew up watching Shirley Temple. I loved watching Shirley Temple, seeing this little girl dance around, so cute, so vibrant. We love, I think that's for everybody in American cinema and beyond, love Shirley Temple movies. But it seems like sometimes black people feel like they can claim a Shirley Temple movie as a black film. Now, mind you, yes, anytime we saw Shirley Temple, she was dancing around with some magical Negro waiting for her father to either come back from the dead, come back from a war, come back from somewhere, right? That was basically the classic, little girl Shirley Temple films. But by no means should we label any Shirley Temple film as a classic black film. Now, Shirley Temple, she went on to get married, and her married name became Shirley Temple Black. And so maybe black people in our minds kind of conflated those things, and we kind of claim Shirley Temple films along with classic black films. No, Shirley Temple films were not. So even though that they're great, we still love watching Shirley Temple films. Even to this day, we can't claim any Shirley Temple films as a black film. So that's my first thing. Any Shirley Temple film is not a black film. The next film that I'm going to talk about is a 1962 classic film, and that film is To Kill a Mockingbird. Now, this is an amazing film. Amazing film. I love this film. I grew up watching this film. I think it's a great storytelling of this film. But you guys, Gregory Peck was great, right? Everything about the kids were great. Everybody was great in this film. But you guys, there's only like 2 black people in this film. And that was Estelle Evans, who played the maid slash cook slash disciplinarian. Y'all, she was the mammy. She was the mammy. Look, there's nothing wrong with being a mammy back then. Hattie McDaniels made a mint being a mammy. I'm not saying that anything is wrong with that. I'm just saying is that that's basically who she was. And then there was Brock Peters, who was on trial. He was basically the victim. And you guys, he ended up dying anyway. I know, that's a spoiler alert. But look, your English teacher gave you a summer reading list in middle school and high school. And this book has been on the list for eons. So if you didn't read this story, so what, that it got spoiled. But yeah, so he dies at the end. And, you know, it's again, like I said, it's a great movie, great cast. We love seeing this, but black people, you can't claim To Kill a Mockingbird as a classic black film. I don't even think that Harper Lee intended that so much for the film. Some might even say that the film was liberal propaganda to get young white kids to go to law school and then join the ACLU. I don't know. Some people may even say that. Not me. Some people may say that. But, you know, again, To Kill a Mockingbird, great film, love it. And there's an actor in this film. What is his name? His name is, James Anderson. James Anderson played like the redneck racist in To Kill a Mockingbird. I just think he was just so funny. It's my mother's spot. My mother would watch this and she would always laugh when his character would come on, you know, just a classic, you know, redneck racist. And, you know, it's sometimes I think maybe I should do like a video on my favorite racist characters. I mean, you got films like Mississippi Burning, you got Do the Right Thing, you got Miss Agnes from Color Purple. I mean, there's a ton of actors who just do an amazing job as racists. But anyway, so that's my little sidebar for To Kill a Mockingbird. But to Kill a Mockingbird, you guys, black people, we cannot claim this film as a classic black film. Now, the next film that we're going to get into, all right, you guys, that film is 1967, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I know. You guys want to shoot me. You want to say, no. Listen, everything that Sidney Poitier did is not considered a classic black film. You can't consider this film, actually there's a lot of Sidney Poitier films out there you can't really consider as black classic films, but you can't consider Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1962, as a classic black film. I mean, now mind you, it had great cast. You got Wheezy Sanford in there as the maid or whatever. There you go, another maid. Hey, you know, it's work. I'm all about actors working. You had, let me go ahead and get, so I can remember their names, B. Richard and Roy Glenn, who play the in-laws to be, you know, who did a great job. And then my favorite black character in this particular movie was Derville Martin, and he played the guy who actually Sidney Tracy hit his hot rod, and he goes off on Spencer Tracy. He goes off on Spencer Tracy about him hitting his hot rod, and you know, it's one of those moments. But it also solidifies that this movie is really about young versus old. I mean, the setting is San Francisco. You can't get any more liberal than that. They did that purposely because they wanted to show that even in the most liberal city in America, people can still be prejudiced, still can be racist. But the film was really talking about young people and young thinking versus old people and old thinking. So that, but again, we can't really claim Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, even though it's a fabulous work of art. It is a fabulous, fabulous work of art. It was beautifully cast. Everybody in there did an amazing job. We love this film. We love watching this film today. But black people, it's not a classic black film. It's not. So there you go. Now our final film, listen to me, you guys. Listen to me close. I am not trying to ruin your list. I am not trying to ruin your list or films that you really love. I'm just saying, if you're looking at a criteria of what a black film is, basically 80% cast and crew, a lot of the above the line responsibilities belong to black people. No matter what era it is, that's just basically what the criteria should be. And so these films should not be labeled as classic black films. And I'm gonna mess with a lot of people right now with the final one, and especially black women. Black women, especially, I love this film growing up. My mother loved this film. A lot of you guys, love this film growing up, but it is not a classic black film. And that is the 1959 version of The Imitation of Life. This film, you guys, is not a black film. I actually saw it on the website as the #1 classic black film, and it just isn't. It just isn't a black film. Now, a lot of you guys don't know that the 1959 version of Imitation of Life is actually a remake of a 1934 version. And that 1934 version started Claudette Colbert. It also started Louise Beavers, and playing Sarah Jane in the 1934 version was Frida Washington, and Frida Washington was black. Now, in the 1959 version, there was one black actor in this film, and that's Juanita Moore. That's it. That's it, you guys. We've been claiming this film for 60, 70 years, and it has, did anybody notice it only has one black actor in this film? One, and that's Juanita Moore. And she dies at the end. Now, Imitation of Life is a great film. It's a classic film. It's a tearjerkers of tearjerkers. It's a tearjerker before there was Terms of Endearment. It's a tearjerker before there was still Magnolias. It is an amazing, amazing film. Lana Turner did a great job. Sandra Dee was in it. I mean, but how lazy can you get that you cast the Sarah Jane with a white actress in the 1950s? Was there not enough light-skinned black people back then? Or white passing? You could have got somebody who was put some white makeup on there, and she could have passed for that particular character. But no, they didn't even respect us enough, especially black women. They didn't even respect us enough in 1959 to cast a black actress like they did in the 1934 version, which Frida Washington was a black actress. They didn't care enough about us to cast a black actress back then. So does it deserve our loyalty? Why does it deserve our loyalty as a classic black film when they did that? Now, I have not heard any talks from Ben Mankiewicz or Robert Osborne on the casting process of this film. If somebody has, if there's a segment, please send that to me. I would love to hear the backstory behind that. But it's lazy casting. It is. It's lazy casting, and it's a great film, a great storytelling. It just doesn't deserve our loyalty. So there you go, you guys. I'm thinking Imitation of Life, #1 film that is classified as a black classic film, and it is not. It is not. So those are my 4 films, or 4 choices. Any Shirley Temple film, black people can't claim it. Stop it. To Kill a Mockingbird, not a black film. Stop it. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I know that there was a Bernie Mac version later on or whatever. That was a comedy. I don't know what they were doing with that, but we're talking about great, wonderful acting. Sidney Poitier. Listen, you guys, Sidney Poitier proved that you could just be a great actor. He proved that you could just be a great actor, that you're not just a black actor or an Asian actor or a white actor or, a Mexican or Latino actor or an American Indian actor. You're not just that. You need to be an actor, right? So he proved to us that it can be done, that it just being a great actor can be done. And all his films, especially his films back then, to me were amazing work of art. He needs to be honored for his craft, always honored for his craft, because he was just amazing. There were other black actors that were also amazing too, and maybe I'll do a video on some classic black actors from that time besides Sidney Poitier, right? Or Harry Belafonte, right? Back then. But yeah, so you guys, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and then coup de grace, Imitation of Life. Stop it. Black women, stop it. Stop it. It's not. All right, you guys, that is the segment for today. If I missed any films, any classic black films, or any films that black people claim as classic black films, but your opinion is that no, it's not a classic black film, definitely go ahead and put that in the comment. And then if you like what we do here in Melanin Monarchy, definitely subscribe, like this video, share, follow us on Instagram, and also follow us on Facebook. I will be back on TikTok. Melanin Monarchy will be back on TikTok as soon as we're able to, as soon as all of these apps update, right? But I wanted to share that with you. And I would love to hear your opinion on classic films. Again, we need to curate this conversation always. And until the next time, here at Melanin Monarchy, we want to make your lives, we want to encourage you to be better and brighter. So until the next time, toodle pip.